Look, we got to go to South by Southwest tomorrow. I'm not putting in like digital effects on that. Just imagine there were photon blasts coming out of his hands. Okay,
be better.
Yeah,
guys, you have joined us, the Cinefanatics, on a movie review for Captain Marvel. My name is Chris Adams,
and my name is Robert Adams.
Yeah, this Marvel had another movie, guys.
Yeah, we just got out of Captain Marvel. Like I said,
let's talk about that.
We're not Rhett and Link. Stop. So, I mean, right off the top, the storyline was pretty good. You could kind of tell what the story was about off the trailers and stuff. She's trying to figure out her past and whatnot. So,
I feel like this film was kind of a very intimate take on Carol Danvers's. Basically, it was solely her story, her origin, and just how she became Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but they kind of did it, and I don't want to give away spoilers. There's no spoilers in this review, but they kind of did it like at the beginning as a little non-linear, which I will say is probably my only real negative takeaway is because they just jump right in and start throwing all this stuff at you, while then they have to kind of come back and return, and it was like it made sense later on towards the end, but just at the beginning of your movie, that kind of weird non-linear, it gets kind of confusing on that.
For me, I understood why they did that, and I know you understand why they did that too. But it's again, without giving away spoilers, there's a reason why they had to go that way. I think that
ultimately you just want to avoid the boring origin story trope.
Yeah, and they did a good job of kind of like subverting the expectations a little bit on that. There was a lot to this movie that is not given away in trailers. But I also think, again, without spoilers, there are nods in the trailers that kind of hint at the movie.
Yeah, what could potentially be.
There's a good crew of characters in this movie. A lot of them are kind of held into the background. They don't really get a whole lot of like main time to shine, and those are some big comic book names, or big comic book names in terms of Captain Marvel's stories. You know, the Star Force, that whole crew, a lot of them they didn't really get a whole lot of spotlight in there.
But they weren't meant to.
They weren't meant to. You know, you heard going into this movie that both Korath and Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy are in this movie as well. And again, they're not the main focus of this movie. They have a backseat role here. Again, the main focus is Carol Danvers, and I think they handled her story very well. I think they did a good job basically setting her up as this powerful, basically the most powerful character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe thus far.
Yeah.
Thanos is screwed.
Yeah. I think some of the things I like, just to quickly touch upon it, we know the movie takes place in the 90s.
Yep.
A lot of good 90s.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of good 90s reference, a lot of pop culture references. The use of the music, especially in certain key scenes, was fantastic.
The use of Blockbuster.
Kind of off the wall. Yeah, the Blockbuster video that we saw in the trailer, that was pretty cool. I have also the special effects in this, and not just like the normal special effects like the photon blast coming out of her hand, but more specifically the de-aging processes that they used on Samuel L. Jackson and Clark Gregg for Fury and Coulson.
Yep.
Fantastic. I try to look back at, like, say, Solo, and we saw like the CGI that they used to replicate Grand Moff Tarkin or Princess Leia.
That was Rogue One.
That was Rogue One, not Solo. Okay. So from Rogue... It's a late night. We got a lot to do. So from Rogue One, when they... masking Tarkin and Princess Leia and stuff...
Yeah.
Like, you could kind of tell that they weren't really there. It wasn't real. This was a lot more authentic looking. I think they did a fantastic job on their faces.
And the big difference there is that they were trying to recreate actual whole people from other people, whereas they actually still had Samuel L. Jackson and Clark Gregg's face to go off of. And that's the big thing with like Samuel L. Jackson. I will note this. You've probably heard by this point that a lot of people are really applauding the effects used to make him look younger. You couldn't tell. You could not tell that there was CGI on him whatsoever. I've seen it like him side-by-side picture form with a Samuel L. Jackson younger from an older movie of his.
One of the late night shows compared it to a picture of him from The Negotiator from like 98.
Yeah, and so it's like it is seamless. It looks exactly the same. You wouldn't even notice. On top of that,
his acting, like the acting for that, because he is playing a younger Nick Fury, he's not the hard, the battle weary Nick Fury that we've seen later on.
He
in
hasn't
the MCU.
seen a whole lot of stuff yet.
Yeah, so he's a lot more playful, and I really like that because he was still Nick Fury, but you could tell he's got some of that inside ready to come out type of thing.
And you saw a lot of that playfulness come out when he's messing with our little buddy Goose.
Goose the cat, yeah.
Goose, there's two people, I mean, besides the fact that this is Carol Danvers' story, there's two people who steal scenes in this movie. The first one is Goose.
Yeah.
The cat. The cat.
Yeah.
The cat.
The second one I would say is easily Ben Mendelsohn as Talos, not Talos. In which he plays like basically the head Skrull in this. The way he plays this Skrull is fantastic. The portrayal of the Skrulls in this movie is awesome.
How he interacts with other characters.
Yeah. And then one thing, like, I will say that's not a spoiler, but it is kind of a good nod from the comics, is they don't play the Skrulls quite as serious. They are a little clumsy, a little goofy, which is great because that's what you expect from them. If you look back at the comics and the 90s cartoons when they showed the Skrulls, they're not great warriors. They are kind of like, eh. So
there's and take that, infuse the Marvel style humor that we've grown to love in all of these movies, and you have your Skrulls in this movie.
Yeah, so Ben Mendelsohn did a fantastic job, hands down, in this. He's probably one of the major standouts, other than Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. She did a fantastic job as Carol Danvers. I am a huge Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel fan.
Yeah.
So I think she did a very good job and was very, very well done.
And then the only other two in the movie would be Jude Law and Annette Bening. Mm-hmm. Annette Bening had a lot to work with.
Yeah.
A lot to work with, and she handled it all masterfully.
Yeah, and what's funny is you see both of these actors are high-caliber actors, and they're sitting here just rattling off things like, oh, well, Kree Law and the Skrulls and blah, 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 Marvel stuff, and you're like, wow.
And I think it's a testament to where Marvel is at this point. That I don't understand any of this, but you know what? I trust their vision, and we're just going with it.
Yeah.
And they do a good job. Everyone plays their parts, holds the movie together, pulls the glue together for it. And honestly, like, my perspective, I can easily see this rolling right into like Guardians of the Galaxy style. The style of it just kind of meshes right in with that, even though it's not as goofy as, say, Guardians of the Galaxy was. Mm-hmm. It's not as comical as Guardians of the Galaxy was. It is a more serious film, but the style, like how they present all the otherworldly stuff, really meshes well with the rest of the cinematic universe at this point.
Yeah. So overall, what would you say you would probably rate this movie?
I would give this probably, I would say it's a solid 4 out of 5 gooses.
No, the cat Goose, not Anthony Edwards. This isn't Top Gun.
Yeah, those.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to go so far as 4. I'm definitely going to need a rewatch on this. I will say it's a solid 3 out of 5 gooses. But here's the thing. My rating is based on like the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not necessarily like overall movies in general. In this case, I try to be not focused that much on it. But, I mean, this was a good movie. I don't think... I'll probably put this at the level of like Doctor Strange. This isn't going to be blow your mind, Black Panther, Infinity War level, but it was still pretty good. It was still fairly entertaining, and I'm eager to watch it again.
Right, and then I give it the rating I give it just because, like you said, Doctor Strange. A lot of the Marvel movies, they're just fun adventure movies. They're fun to watch, fun to enjoy. I had fun with this movie, so that's why I went ahead and rated it what I rated it. But
yeah, so what did you think of this movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let us know down below. Comment. If you like this video, hit like. If you didn't like this video, don't hit anything. And
hit like.
Hit like. Yeah, that'd be great. Also, if you could do us a favor and hit subscribe up here.
Yeah, there it is.
Subscribe to us. Also, there's other videos you could check out over here.
Those are.
Yep, and as always,
higher, further, faster.
You got that from this movie. Awesome. Later.
See ya.
I called this movie tight, but then people in the comments were thinking that we're ripping off Pitch Meeting.
I feel like trading some Pokemon cards or playing with some Pogs now.